What up, y'all? On today's episode, I'm doing a review of the 2018 Grammy Awards. Are y'all ready? It's lit.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta
Yeah, what up, everybody? It's your boy right here, the R&B Kid, and you're tuned into another episode of On the Bright Side. If this is your first time on my channel, please go ahead and click that like button right there. Hit this video with a like. Or right there if you're on the phone. Share this video and subscribe to my channel. On this channel, I talk all things music and entertainment while always keeping things positive and always find the bright side of everything, okay? Alright, so moving forward, guys, like I said, this is going to be a review of the 2018 Grammy Awards, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about the performances that I saw during the night, and then I'm going to talk about the actual categories themselves, and then I'll talk about my overall thoughts on the on what I saw this year with the Grammy Awards, okay? Are y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, also starting off with the performances of the night at the Grammy Awards this year. Kendrick Lamar opened the show with Bono and The Edge. And I'm not gonna lie, I was late to this performance because I was working on stuff and I was at my friend's house. So I ended up missing some of Kendrick's performance, and I've been having a hard time trying to find other clips online. But what I did see, it was amazing. I saw the last part of it, and it just looked really dope. Kendrick always knows how to really bring a dope vibe to the Grammys, and he's one of the few rappers I think of his generation who really knows how to up the ante in terms of visuals and, you know, message and just you know, just lyrical impact and performance impact on big award shows, mainly like the Grammys. So I'm very proud of Kendrick. Unfortunately, he did not win any of the top categories, which I'll talk about later, but I really appreciated what he did in that opening performance for what I saw so far. So moving on, Lady Gaga performed with Mark Ronson. She performed Joanne, A Million Reasons. I thought that performance was cool, but kind of a little bit boring, but I definitely like what she was giving vocally, and I like that Lady Gaga is showing different sides of herself with this Joanne era, even though it's been a very quiet era for her. But I enjoyed the performance. I thought it was a little bit boring, like I said, but the vocals were nice. So moving on, after Lady Gaga, Sam Smith performed Pray. I love that song, Pray. I don't know if it'll become a big hit, but I really like that song. His performance was a little bit boring too, kind of like Lady Gaga's, but I don't know how I feel. Yeah, it was just okay. You know, it was alright. Oh yeah, I'm only going to talk about the performances that I really feel like my subscribers and my viewers will enjoy, so I'm not going to talk about every performance because that'll take too long. The next performance I want to talk about is Despacito. So Luis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee, and some chick, I think her name is Zuleika Rivera, performed Despacito. She must have been the chick in the middle that was getting it in the middle, that was just had her ass all out in the middle. That was a very funny performance. I don't know if I've said this on my channel before, but I do not like Despacito. It is probably one of my least favorite songs from 2017, and I think that song, to me, I don't have a beef with that song, but what I hate about that song is really how much America just like made it blow to the stratosphere for no reason. To me, that song is a very average, nice Latin pop reggaeton song, but it's nothing like crazy, and I don't know why that was one of the biggest hits of all time, and it really is one of the biggest hits of all time. So I just think it's a very average song. I'm happy that it got its Grammy nominations, but that performance, I think, to me, showed me why I don't like the song. The video is dope, but the actual performance itself was just very dry to me. Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee looked tired. The girls that were there were just, you know, they were just shaking ass, but it was what it was. So that was very average performance to me, but y'all motherfuckers love Despacito, so I hope y'all enjoyed the performance. Let me know if y'all enjoyed it or not, but I thought it was whatever to me. After Despacito, Childish Gambino performed Terrified. That is the next single off of his album, Awaken My Love. I don't think it'll become as big of a hit as Redbone was. I don't even know if it'll become a hit in general, but that performance was amazing. Childish Gambino, I'm so proud of him, because before this era, before this album, I had no idea that dude could actually really sing, because he, you know, obviously he started out as a rapper, so I had no idea he could sing. And I remember the first time I heard Redbone, I was like, oh my god, like, Childish can sing, like, this dude is so multifaceted, and he really showed that he can also do it. I mean, I've seen him perform live before, but to see him just blow and just kill it at the Grammys was just so nice to see. He killed it at first performing the song. He hit those falsettos. He looked good in his all white. It was just a dope setup. And then I forgot this dude's name, this little boy's name. I think his name was like something McCreary or something like that. But he is going to be playing young Simba in the new Lion King remake that's gonna come out next year. And this little boy sang his ass off too. This little boy with his little afro was just blowing notes throughout the whole stadium, and I was just like, yo, who is this little boy? So he killed it. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever he's gonna, what he's gonna accomplish in his career. Whether he's gonna go into music or just continue to go into acting, whatever he chooses to do. He's a talented young little boy. So I forgot his name, I'm sorry, but go look him up. He performed with Childish Gambino, and he was amazing. And Childish, you killed it too. So after Childish Gambino and that little boy performed Terrified, we had Pink perform Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. I was very surprised by this choice. Because Pink, I thought if anything she performed What About Us, since that song was nominated, or her new single Beautiful Trauma. But I'm okay with the song she chose because that song is a good song, and very like Grammy performance-esque, so I'm not surprised. She came out in like a t-shirt and jeans looking mad basic, but I actually liked it because I think it was a change of pace. Everyone always comes like dolled up at the Grammys, and she did come in dressed nice, but I'm glad like for her performance she like was really subdued and low-key and was comfortable. And for once Pink wasn't flying through the air. But low-key, this is actually one of the few times I actually wanted Pink to be flying through the air, because I think throughout the night, I think we can all agree the performances were just very dry. So this is the one time I actually wanted Pink to fly through the air. But she was on the ground the whole time, just chilling. And the song was, I like that song. Her album is amazing. If you haven't checked out my review on her album, go check it out. And also, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, I think, is one of the songs on her new album that really allowed her to show her emotional and vocal prowess. And she really, I think, had one of the best vocal performances of the night. It wasn't in your face, but it was very, very well done. People really sleep on the fact that Pink can blow. She can really sing. So this performance was amazing. After Pink performed, we had Bruno Mars and Cardi B come with Finesse. That was amazing. First, Cardi came out and she did her first verse on Finesse. She killed it, did a good job. And then after her verse was done, she came out into the audience, was lit. She came out to the front of the stage and was lit as hell. And then the camera panned to Bruno. Bruno started killing it with his background dancers. And then, they did a little dance break. And then after that, Cardi B came out and she did a part of Bartier Cardi and meshed it into the Finesse remix. And then her and Bruno and Bruno's dancers were all on the stage together doing a little breakdown. So that was cool. Probably definitely one of the highest energy performances of the night. It was needed. It brought some, it brought some difference to the show in terms of tempo and energy, which was needed. What I want to say about the Finesse performance was, for some reason, I will admit, as much as I love Bruno and Cardi, for some reason they both did look a little bit tired and out of it. But I'm not surprised, because they both probably have like busy ass schedules right now. They're both at the top of their game doing the thing, but they both really seem kind of tired at some points, and like they were just trying to get through it. But I still love the energy they did bring regardless. And I remember I was watching the Grammys at my boy's house. Shout out to you, Mo and Rashawn. I was watching the Grammys at the house, and I remember my boy Mo saying like, yo, looking at Bruno Mars right now, all I can see is Chris Brown's wasted potential. And I remember sitting there like, oh my God, this is so true. Let me know if y'all agree, if y'all disagree. But I can't help get the feeling that every time I watch Bruno Mars kill it on stage these days, especially with this 24 Karat Magic album era, because it really is his most like R&B centric era, I can't help but just to think about how much Chris Brown should be in Bruno Mars's place right now. Every time I see Bruno Mars kill it with a nice two-step breakdown at an award show, I'm like, this is where Chris Brown should have been right now. Chris Brown should have been nominated for like 6, 7, 8 Grammys at this year's Grammys, and he should have been performing, killing it with his dancing. Like, this is where Chris Brown should be in his career, but he's not. Because he wants to fucking play games and he wants to bullshit. And he has been bullshitting ever since like 2013, 14. So every time I watch Bruno, I'm just like, damn, this is where Chris Brown should be. Like, Chris Brown, why are you playing games with us, bro? Come on. The music has been subpar. The promotion has been subpar. and I don't know, but Bruno definitely killed it. Finesse was a great performance. And that's all I want to say about that. Moving on to the next performance I want to talk about, Wild Thoughts. So DJ Khaled, Rihanna, and Bryson Tiller came out with Wild Thoughts. They killed it. DJ Khaled was so unnecessary, he was so unneeded, but of course he was gonna be there because it was his song. But then Rihanna came out. She was a little bit late, but she came out the back and she started performing. It was kind of like a I don't want to say 20s. Like it was like a 20th century like salon parlor vibe set up for the performance. So the stage design was probably my favorite of the night. And you know, the costume staging, that was probably my favorite of the night, and the colors too. I love that staging. I think the most out of anybody's performance. So Rihanna came out in her pink little, like, you know, flapper dress somewhat, started killing it with the moves. And a lot of people said Rihanna was like really windy and out of breath, but to be honest, I don't think her vocal performance was that bad. That song is like, it naturally has to show off Rihanna's low tone, and I think when you have a song where you're constantly singing in your low register, especially when you're in a big stadium, a lot of times it's hard to really power through and like really have like powerful vocals. So I don't blame Rihanna too much for that. And on top of that, she was dancing like everywhere, so it's whatever. So I think she did good for what it was. Bryson Tiller came out. He was cool. You know, nothing crazy, but he was just there. So he was cool. And then Rihanna started killing it at the end with the dancing, really just getting at the end. She probably had the most energy, besides Cardi and Bruno, she probably had the most energy out of everybody at the award show tonight. So, I mean, on Sunday. So, shout out to Rihanna for that. I still love Wild Thoughts. I still bump it till today. I'm still not tired of that song at all. And can we talk about how thick Rihanna is right now? Yo, Rihanna is thick, and I'm here for it. Rihanna, mama, you look beautiful, thick. Rihanna was up there like just I hope you know about that tag. Yo, she was fucking it up, and I was like, Rihanna, you just look so thick right now. I'm like, I'm not mad. You look good. A lot of people are getting on Rihanna about her weight right now, but listen, Rihanna looks good. Fuck all y'all haters. She looks good. How dare y'all talk about Rihanna and her weight when first of all, she looks good. Second of all, she's gonna make more money than all y'all will ever see in your life. And third of all, she's flyer than any of you guys will ever be in your whole life. So stop hating on Rihanna. She looks good. That weight, she look good. So shout out to you, Rihanna. All right. After Wild Thoughts, what I want to talk about. So Kesha came out after that. With Camila Cabello, Cyndi Lauper, Julia Michaels, Andra Day, and Bibi Rexha, and she performed her song Praying with the support of all of them behind her. That performance gave me chills. It was beautiful. And mind you, that came right after Janelle Monáe had a speech about, you know, equality and, you know, how much we need to get rid of discrimination and abuse and corruption in the music industry. It being pretty much one of the main industries where it's happening, even though it's not being talked about, you know, under the guise of, you know, Hollywood kind of being the center of attention when it comes to abuse and corruption, all that stuff right now. So I'm glad that Janelle Monáe said, hey, listen, the music industry we're in it too, so let's not front like we're not in it. So right after that, Kesha performed Praying with all those women behind her. It was powerful. Kesha's vocal was very weak. And usually on any other night, I would have gotten on the artist about it. And I'm not gonna front, it was a really bad vocal performance from Kesha, especially because the actual recorded version of Praying has amazing vocals, especially that high note she hits at the end of the song. She didn't really hit any of her high notes during the performance, and her vocals were shaky. But then again, she was very emotional. So I'm not gonna get on her about it. But at the end of the day, watching that performance, it gave me chills to just watch Kesha bearing her soul for that song in front of everybody in the music industry, and with all those women behind it. It was just a very powerful moment. And it just would have been an even more powerful and an iconic moment if she had actually like really delivered amazing vocals. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, I still love Praying. That's one of my favorite pop songs from last year. And Kesha low-key really deserved a Grammy for that song. But you know, she'll have to keep it pushing for her Grammy win. Next up after that I want to talk about SZA, Broken Clocks. So SZA performed Broken Clocks. I kind of thought that when she started out, it was a little bit she seemed a little bit nervous at first, but I think once she kind of came out from behind the microphone and, you know, they lift up the veil so you can see her better, I think she performed a lot better and she finally got into her groove. It's so cool to see SZA, you know, how she's grown over the past year. She's still a very like awkward and like introverted and like very mystical and like mysterious person. and that comes through in her music and her live performances. But I just love how much she's grown and how much she's really like grown into her live performance, and just her really exuding her beautiful energy on stage. So she really got into her own as the song progressed, and I think as the song ended, she really had a good vocal performance, good emotion, and she just really vibed with the audience, and I enjoyed it. And I like that R&B got a little bit of love at, in terms of Grammy performances, besides Wild Thoughts too. So that was nice to see. So shout out to SZA, you killed it, boo. I'm gonna talk about your lack of nominations in a little bit. Your lack of wins in a little bit. And the last performance that I want to talk about is Logic, Alessia Cara, and Khalid. They ended the show with the 1-800-273-8255 song. We've seen that performance a million times, but at the end of the day, let's not act like we were not going to watch the Grammys and not see that performance, especially because it was one of the biggest songs of the year, and because it was a great song to like end the award show on, with like a positive note, talking about confronting the issue of suicide, and let's get the conversation moving for how to prevent it for our future generations. So that was a good performance. We've seen it a million times, but I'm glad they did it at the Grammys, so they can have it on record that they did it at the Grammys. And that was pretty much the roundup of the performances. A few other things that I want to talk about that I saw on the show besides performances. Let's see, I wanted to kind of touch about a lot of the cool speeches. So like I said, Janelle Monáe had a dope speech about this, sexual abuse and harassment and corruption in the music industry. So that was greatly appreciated. Shout out to you, Janelle Monáe, you're a queen. And I also want to talk about Camila Cabello's speech about immigrants. Before, I think it was before Kesha's performance, or maybe before U2's performance, I can't remember. Camila Cabello had a speech about being an immigrant, and her parents being immigrants and moving to America, and how important it is for us to not forget the dreamers, and about how she came from nothing and look at where she's at. She's on the Grammy stage, has the #1 song and album in the country, and she probably will be nominated for Grammys at next year's ceremony. So it was a great speech. I really appreciated that. It was good to hear. And on top of that, I think one of the funniest parts of the night was the skits where a bunch of celebrities were reading off lines in the, I forgot his name, the Fire and Fury book. That book pretty much about how Donald Trump is living his life in the White House right now in this current era, and the administration, and a lot of the stuff that we might not exactly know. So that book has been getting a lot of attention lately. So they had Cardi B, some other, I forgot who the other celebrities, and they also had Hillary Clinton, reading some lines off of it. So that was a really funny part. I was dying when I saw it, and I was like, damn, the Grammys are shady as fuck for this shit. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Y'all better expose that motherfucker. And speaking of, I just watched the State of the Union address last night, and I'm shocked by how much people were clapping for Donald Trump in that room. All those dumb-ass Republicans that were clapping for this motherfucker in that room, I was like, really, y'all? Y'all really gonna just like champion this man, even though everything he's saying is either low-key a fabricated lie, or a fabricated truth, or a lie? Like, come on, like, so, oh my God, the GOP, whatever. So back to the Grammys. I guess now I want to talk about the actual categories themselves. So let's talk about it. Record of the year went to Bruno Mars for 24 Karat Magic. I was not upset at this win, but I really was hoping it was gonna go to Humble, by Kendrick Lamar, I honestly thought Despacito might take it because it's one of the biggest songs in like music history, to be honest. But I'm glad it didn't win because I don't like the song. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at 24 Karat Magic winning, but I really wanted to go to Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Excuse me. Album of the year went to Bruno Mars for 24 Karat Magic. I'm gonna talk about this more in depth towards the end of the video, but I wanted this album to go to either Kendrick or Jay-Z, not because I'm a black man, because I love hip-hop music, but then again, 24 Karat Magic is an R&B album, and I'm an R&B head. I'm an R&B kid. But I really feel like those two albums were the most deserving of the title of Album of the Year, more so than 24 Karat Magic, Awaken My Love, and Lord's album. And I mind you, I've listened to all these albums, and I truly believe that Jay-Z and Kendrick deserve this honor. But I'll talk about this more at the end of my video. Song of the Year went to Bruno Mars for That's What I Like. To me, this was the biggest shocker of the night for me. I wasn't since Bruno taking album of the year and record of the year wasn't a shock to me, but I was shocked by this win because that's what I like. Wow, it's an amazing record. I love that song. Lyrically and, you know, I don't know, arrangement wise, it wasn't that sophisticated of a song. It's a very like run-of-the-mill R&B song. So it would have been nice for honestly, the song that deserved, and I think everyone can agree, the song that deserved this win was the 1-800-273-8255 song by Logic, Alessia Cara, and Khalid. This song to me deserved the win for Song of the Year because to me it will be a song that will be covered for years and years to come. It will be a classic song for years and years to come. More so than that's what I like. And also it's just really, the lyrics of that song are just amazing, resonant, beautiful, impactful, deep, and to me they're more game-changing than That's What I Like. So I feel like, you know, the 1-800 song should have been rewarded in this category, and I'm shocked they gave it to a song as basic as That's What I Like. But I'll talk more about this later, like I said before. Best New Artist went to Alessia Cara. I think, like everybody, I was pinning this award to go to either Khalid or SZA, and I wouldn't have been. Yeah, the only artist I would have been upset winning this category would have been Lil Uzi Vert, not because I don't like him, but because I feel like he shouldn't be bestowed with the title Best New Artist. So every other person's category, I would have been okay with them winning because I love all the artists in this category. But I really, for what they did in 2017, mainly I really wanted this award to go to SZA or Khalid, mainly SZA. So I'm very disappointed by this win. This is a very bittersweet win because I love Alessia Cara, and I remember in for the 2017 Grammy Awards, I wanted her to be nominated, and then she wasn't. And I thought to myself, oh shoot, like she finally got nominated in 2018. But it's funny, looking back from the 2017 Grammy Awards, I would have never thought that Alessia Cara would be the winner of the Best New Artist Grammy in 2018. And if it had been kind of any other year, or if it had been a different slate of artists that she was nominated with, I would have been so happy for Alessia Cara because I love her. Ever since I got introduced to her in 2015, I love Alessia Cara to pieces. She's amazing. I think she's a great talent. I love her. And her win here, honestly, is not taking anything away from her. It's just that she was in a very strong year for Best New Artist. And she was in a year where, although she might have been the most mainstream, she might have had the most hits, she might have had the biggest hits out. She's the only artist in this category that has 2 top 10s from last year. Every other artist in this category, yeah, Lil Uzi Vert has 1 top 10. Oh no, actually no, 2, because Bad and Bougie. So yeah, but Alessia Cara is the most prominent artist in this category in terms of commercial and mainstream success, especially in the last year. But I just feel like, for what SZA and Khalid did with their music, and for just the potential that I feel like they have to really be amazing artists in the future, I really would have liked for this to have gone to them. And also, besides that, an R&B artist has not won Best New Artist since 2006, and the last person that won Best New Artist who was an R&B artist was John Legend in 2006. So it's been more than 10 years, and it would have been nice for this to finally be the year when R&B artists got love as being a Best New Artist. You know, it's literally been more than 10 years. Our Best New Artist always goes to a new female pop chick, Alessia Cara, or like an alternative rock, band or group. Very rarely is it an artist that is not one of those that wins, like Chance the Rapper last year. So it would have been nice for them to have done it again this year and given it to an R&B artist, but I digress. Moving on to Best Pop Soul Performance, this went to Ed Sheeran for Shape of You. A very disgraceful win, which I'll talk more about later. A very disgraceful win, especially when we have so many other amazing vocal songs in this category. Praying, Love So Soft, Million Reasons, and What About Us were all better than Shape of You vocally and just as songs. And to me, this is one of the most misogynistic and sexist wins I think I've ever seen in the Grammys. Because Ed Sheeran was the only guy in this category, and he had the most mediocre song in the category, and he won the Grammy. And all the other 4 chicks in this category didn't even take it, and they all had better songs than Shape of You. Shape of You was the biggest song in this category, but it was not the best. And that's what the Grammys are here to do. They're here to award the best and not the biggest. But we all know that's not how it goes. Academy, I'm looking at y'all. Get it together. Get it together. Best Pop Duo Group Performance went to Feel It Still for Portugal the Man. This is actually one of the few categories that this year I was actually very happy with. I didn't expect it, but I'm happy because I love Feel It Still. Feel It Still is an amazing song, so I'm very happy it won here. I don't have much to say about. I don't have much to complain about with this category. I thought this was going to Despacito to give them a consolation prize for not winning any general categories, and because Despacito is one of the biggest songs ever. But they gave it to Felix still, and I'm not complaining. I love Felix still. So shout out to Portugal the Man. Happy for y'all. Best pop vocal album went to Ed Sheeran again for the Divide album. This win I'm not as upset about because I love Divide. I actually like Divide. I think a lot of people don't like the album, but I love Divide. To me, it was one of the better albums in this category. So I'm okay with this win. A lot of people wanted it to go to Kesha or Lady Gaga, which I would have been okay with too. But I'm not mad at Ed Sheeran's win here. For me, Ed Sheeran, I'm okay with him winning in this category, but he should not have taken Best Pop Soul Performance for Shape of You. That was trash. But moving on to the R&B categories, Bruno Mars won for That's What I Like and Best R&B Performance. I knew he was taking this category home. I was hoping an upset would happen in this category and they'd give it to either Daniel Caesar or SZA. But then I low-key wanted Ledisi to win, but nobody knows Ledisi, so I knew she wasn't gonna win it, unfortunately. And again, like I said before, bookmark my old video where I talked about Ledisi in my previous video. I said that Ledisi was not going to win any awards because of Bruno Mars, and guess what? She didn't because of Bruno Mars. But whatever. So Bruno Mars took this category home. I'm not too mad about this category because That's What I Like is a good R&B performance, but it would have been nice for them to have given it to somebody different. But I know he was gonna sweep the R&B categories anyways, so it is what it is. Best traditional R&B performance went to Childish Gambino for Redbone. I'm very happy for Childish. I knew he was gonna take this category, and I'm not upset that he did. I'm glad I'm glad he at least got one Grammy. So now Childish Gambino is an Emmy winner and a Grammy winner. Isn't that crazy? Shout out to Childish, man. I'm so proud of you, bro. I wasn't surprised he took this at all. Best R&B song went to Bruno Mars for That's What I Like again. As you can see, the trend of this year is that Bruno Mars swept everything, and Kendrick swept rap, which I'll talk about in a second. So I really wanted this category to go to Location or Supermodel, because I feel like those are just like amazing R&B songs in terms of the lyrics and the way they're arranged. Mainly Location. I was really hoping Khalid would take this Grammy, but I knew he wasn't going to because That's What I Like is here, and That's What I Like is nominated for Song of the Year, so of course it's going to win Best R&B Song if it had lost Song of the Year. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this category. Moving on to Best Urban Contemporary Album. This was, to me, the category that my boys saw me when I was watching the Grammys at my boys' crib. They saw how mad it was when I saw who won this category. This category, Best Urban Contemporary Album, went to The Weeknd for Starboy. What? Okay, listen. Grammy Academy, look at me. Look at me. Pay attention to me. Look at The Weeknd's Starboy album was one of the biggest albums in this category. It was the biggest. I had the most hit singles. It was the biggest album in this category. But how the fuck are you going to give The Weeknd this Grammy when he just won it 2 years ago? So he's not thirsty for another Grammy in this category. He just won it 2 years ago for Beauty Behind the Madness, which I think was a deserved win, so I'll give him that. But this album, the Starboy album, was a very mediocre album. I liked it, but it wasn't anything to be crazy over. And how are you gonna give The Weeknd this category when you have Awaken My Love, which was an amazing, eclectic, funky, psychedelic R&B album that really pushed boundaries? American Teen by Khalid, which was an amazing R&B debut by someone who I think will be a legend in the R&B genre. And the Control album by SZA, who, in my opinion, I think should have taken it, even though she wasn't nominated for Album of the Year like Childish was. To me, I thought this category was going to, like I said before, I thought this category was going to Childish, since she was nominated for Album of the Year. And if Childish was to lose to anybody else, I was hoping it would have been SZA, because her album really was one of the best urban contemporary albums of the year, an album that people will love for years and years to come. I think the Control album will be an album that will be cited, noted, performed, covered, and just overall celebrated for a long time to come. So this win would have been nice. I'm very ashamed at the Academy that they really gave this award to The Weeknd. And to me, more than anything, this category showed me right here that a lot of these motherfuckers in the Academy are really just going off a namesake and who they know. And it's just sad. It's like, you think more Academy members would go off of really listening to all these projects that are nominated for Grammys and really making their best judgment to really pick the best projects and songs that'll win. But all they're doing is going off of namesake and politics and the popularity contest, and it's sad. But I'll talk more about this later. So yeah, that win was very disgraceful. I have nothing against The Weeknd or the Starboy album, because I love the Starboy album, but it was the weakest album in the category, so it's a shame that it walked away with the Grammy. It pretty much pulled the Ed Sheeran with Shape of You, to be honest. Alright, so best R&B album. Best R&B album went to Bruno Mars for 24 Karat Magic. I am not too upset at this win. I was hoping it would go to Daniel Caesar or Lettucey, kind of like best R&B performance, but I'm not mad at Bruno Mars' win. I knew he was going to take it because he's nominated for Album of the Year, so I knew he was going to win this category. Excuse me, but it is what it is. So he won this category. Yeah. And yeah, I don't have much to say about best R&B album. It's fine. Best rap performance went to Kendrick Lamar for Humble. I was hoping this would go to Humble, so I'm glad it did. So I have no complaints about this category. Moving on to best rap song performance. I want to talk about this category. This went to Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna for Loyalty. I remember in my prediction video, I was saying that I want this song to win. But then as the months went by, I started to realize that I really wanted Jay-Z and Beyonce to take this for Family Feud, because Family Feud, I think, is just an amazing. The more and more I hear that song, it's an amazing record. It's an amazing rap performance by Jay-Z and an amazing vocal performance by Beyonce. So and together it was just an amazing collaboration track. So I was hoping they take this category. I think it was the first category that was announced at the Grammy Awards show, and Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna went up there and accepted the award. It was a really bittersweet win because I was happy to see them take it, but in my head I knew that Jay-Z and Beyonce really deserved it more for Family Feud, and I was hoping this was the one category Jay-Z would get, like hands down, but he didn't take it. So yeah, this was a bittersweet one. I'm happy for Kendrick and Rihanna, but Jay-Z and Beyonce really should have taken this. Best rap song went to Kendrick Lamar for Humble again. I'm not too mad at this because Humble is an amazing record, so I'm not too mad at this. But I wanted this to either go to Jay-Z or, in a crazy upset, Cardi B. I wanted this to go to Jay-Z because The Story of OJ, I think, is one of the best rap songs that's ever been written, in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know. If you think I'm crazy for saying that, let me know. But I think The Story of OJ is one of the best rap songs ever written. Amazing concept, amazing arrangement. It's just a dope record. And the lyrics in that song are just so impactful, and I think will be felt for a long time to come. And people will really start like changing their lives off of a lot of what Jay-Z was talking about in the 444 album. And The Story of OJ is one of the main songs I think really exemplifies what is beautiful about the 444 album. So Jay-Z should have won this category, and if not Jay-Z, it would have been cool to see Cardi take this too, because Bodak Yellow is an amazing written rap song too. But I'm not mad at Kendrick winning. It is what it is. I like Humble too, so I'm not too mad at this. Best rap album went to Kendrick Lamar for Damn. I'm glad he won. I said he would win, and he did. While it would have been nice to see Jay-Z take this as well. I love both of those albums equally. I'm glad Damn won. And Jay-Z already has the best rap album Grammy anyway, so it is what it is. So I don't have too many complaints about this category. But the complaint I really have between Kendrick and Jay-Z is in the Album of the Year category, which I'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, so let's talk about my general thoughts and trends about this year's wins. So the first thing I want to talk about is Jay-Z and SZA being snubbed in every category they were nominated in. SZA was nominated for 5 Grammys. She didn't take one home. It reminds me a lot of when India.Arie was nominated for, I think, like 6 or 7 Grammys at the 2002 ceremony, and she didn't win anything. And it reminds me of when Jasmine Sullivan was nominated for, like, I think 5 or 6 or 7 Grammys at the 2009 Grammy Awards, and she didn't win anything either. And mind you, Alicia Keys and Beyonce, 2 light-skinned female R&B artists. I don't want to make this a colorism issue, but I kind of have to take it there. Alicia Keys and Beyonce both won multiple Grammys in their debut years as solo artists, in 2002 and 2004 respectively. But for some reason, India.Arie, dark skin, Jasmine Sullivan, dark skin, SZA, dark skin, in their debut years in the Grammys, where they were nominated for like multiple Grammys as female R&B artists, and I think all of them were nominated for Best New Artist. They didn't take home any Grammys, and it really makes me wonder how much of an issue colorism is in the music industry. I know it's an issue, definitely for female R&B chicks. I know it's an issue, and I've actually been thinking about making a video about this issue for a long time, but I have not really found the. I'm not gonna tackle it just yet, but in the future I might make a video about this. But it's a shame that SZA, with the amazing year she had, couldn't take home 1 Grammy. It's a shame. And Jay-Z was the most nominated artist this year, and he didn't take home any Grammys, which is a shame. Last year, Rihanna and Kanye West were nominated for 8 Grammys, and they both didn't take home any Grammys. But at the end of the day, Beyonce was the most nominated person at the ceremony with 9 awards, and she took home 2. So at least the most nominated person at the awards show wasn't snubbed. But this year, I think might be the first year where the most nominated artist of the whole award show didn't take home 1 award. And that is extremely fucked up. Grammy Academy, the fact that y'all don't let Jay-Z have 1 Grammy last year, on Sunday, not that he needs any more Grammys, but the fact that he was the most nominated person at the ceremony and y'all don't give that man 1 Grammy, that is a damn shame. Not only to hip-hop, but that's a damn shame to you guys. I'm sorry, that is a damn shame. He lost every category he was into Bruno and Kendrick. And this is what I want to talk about next. I have no problem with Kendrick sweeping rap. It's Kendrick. But Bruno sweeping, and I have no problem with Bruno sweeping R&B. But Bruno sweeping the general categories, I think was really fucked up. Because to me, what I got from this overall slate of wins this year was that the Grammy Academy really wanted to push toward picking the safest choices as opposed to the most logical choices, or the choices where not everybody might have been the most happy about it, but it was a championing of real art and real, just real art and real music. There was not enough wealth shared around this year at the Grammys, and I'm very upset about that. Especially in the genre categories, especially rap and R&B and pop, and the general categories. There was not a lot of sharing of the wealth. Kendrick swept rap, Bruno swept R&B, Ed Sheeran swept pop, and Bruno Mars swept the general categories. And it's like there wasn't enough wealth to go around, and it's sad. You know, it's like it's not fair for artists to continually go home with like 5, 6, 7 Grammys, especially when they don't deserve it. I'm not saying Bruno Mars didn't deserve it, because I love Bruno Mars to pieces. Well, Sean, you're probably gonna come in for this, but it's true. Bruno Mars had a great year with the 24 Karat Magic album. The 24 Karat Magic album was an amazing album. But the fact that it swept album of the year, and the fact that That's What I Like took song of the year, it's just very sad, because it's like, bro, That's What I Like is not even one of the best written songs that came out this year. And 24 Karat Magic is a dope album, but 24 Karat Magic, I almost look at it almost like a tribute album to some of the greatest music that was coming out in like the late 80s and early to mid 90s. It wasn't really like an organic, I mean, I don't think it was like the most organic, fresh album, and not only in the category this year, but just in general in this time period. It was just a very like, you know, it was an album that was somewhat of like a tribute to the amazing R&B music that was coming out, you know, in a past generation. That still sounds great till today. So while I appreciated Bruno's album, I don't understand the onslaught of Grammys that was handed his way for what he created. I'm okay with him taking Record of the Year and him taking the R&B album, the R&B categories, but the fact that he took Album and Song of the Year was just a little bit upsetting to me. And it, like I said before, it really showed me this trend this year of the Grammy Academy really awarding crowd pleasers and the most safest choices and the most non-threatening choices, as opposed to really rewarding the most artistically inclined and the most bold and genre and you know, and forward pushing and you know, and just gravity defying music. Mainly a lot of music by Kendrick and Jay-Z in the general categories. It would have been nice to see them get some love. It would have been nice to see Kendrick walk away with Record of the Year, and it would have been nice to see Kendrick or Jay-Z walk away with Album of the Year. I feel like they were both more deserving in those categories. And Song of the Year, like I said before, Song of the Year should have gone to Logic for the 1-800 song. One of the most impactful songs of the year. So that's what I have to say about that. The genre sweeps by Kendrick, Bruno and Ed Sheeran are understandable because those three guys pretty much had, like, I think those three guys had the biggest years in terms of people who were nominated at the Grammys this year. They had the biggest years. Kendrick ran hip hop, Bruno ran R&B this year, and Ed Sheeran ran pop. But you have, when it comes time to actually give out those awards, you have to give it to the right people, even if they didn't have the biggest years or the biggest songs or the biggest albums out. And that's what the Grammys are here to do. And unfortunately, this year the Grammys showed their ass by not really rewarding the most deserving people, and just rewarding the people who everyone could be the least upset at. And I say that because, as an example, I love Bruno Mars, so it was a very bittersweet win to see him take album of the year and song of the year, because I love his songs and his album. But it was bittersweet because it's like, I'm not too upset at this win because I love Bruno Mars, but at the same time, it's like you have other artists who are sitting on the sidelines who were probably a little bit more deserving than Bruno. So that's just what I want to say about that. It's a shame that in a year where the nominations were probably more on point than they ever were, it's a shame that the Academy couldn't follow up that by actually like rewarding the right wins. Because usually a lot of times we're arguing about how whack the nominations are, but this year, I think more than any other year I've seen in past years, the nominations were actually really on point, and the nominations were really like well thought out. Not perfect because they never are, but the well thought out. And this is probably one of the most, I think this is probably been one of the most pleasing years in terms of the nominations. I think everyone can generally agree on that. So it would have been nice to see it being followed up by actually rewarding the right people, on top of the fact that they were on point with the nominations. So that's just my thought on that. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. That's all I want to talk about. So my takeaway from the award show this year, the Grammys, the nominations were on point for the first time in a long time, but the show itself was very boring. Besides Rihanna and Cardi B and Bruno Mars and Kesha and Childish Gambino and SZA and Pink, everybody else was kind of just boring to me. And all those artists I just named, they weren't exactly boring, but I think they were just, unfortunately, I think the producers of the show, I think I'm gonna credit this to the producers and the showrunners. The show itself was just very boring. I think the Grammys need I think they need a new creative director to really like up the ante for the show itself, because it was the lowest rated show in the Grammy, I think since 2009. It was one of the lowest rated Grammys in history. People were not watching this year, and on top of the fact that people are kind of just more online now than they ever have, I also just think it was a very boring show in general. So that's probably why people tuned out. I watched the whole thing because I obviously wanted to review it for you guys, but it was a very boring show. But shout out to, like I said, shout out to some of the performers for bringing it up a little bit. But next year I'm gonna need a new creative director who can just make it a less boring show. And in terms of the wins, what I noticed this year, like I said, Kendrick swept rap, Bruno swept R&B, Ed swept pop, and Bruno swept the general categories. It was a lot of crowd pleasing going on, and a lot of safe choices for the wins, and not a lot of really rewarding artists and albums and songs that were way more impactful than a lot of the winners themselves. Ed Sheeran winning a Grammy for Shape of You was very sad to see. Bruno Mars winning Song of the Year for That's What I Like was very sad to see. Songs that I enjoy and I love, but that were not deserving of their wins, to be quite honest. But on the bright side, guys, I think this award show was good for all of us, because it kind of keeps the conversation moving forward in terms of whether or not artists of color and hip-hop artists and R&B artists should shun and boycott the Grammys, and also just what other ways we can properly acknowledge and support real artists and real music who might not exactly be getting the shine and the platform that a lot of Grammy nominated artists and Grammy winning artists have. And last note I want to leave on with this video, Alessia Cara, even though I don't think your best new artist win was the most warranted, not because I have anything against you, but because you were in a very strong year, the one thing I do want to highlight about Alessia Cara, y'all motherfuckers stop hating on Alessia Cara. You know why? I love Alessia Cara because in her speech she took the time to say something that I think not enough artists are with her platform are saying these days, which is that when she said, listen, I'm very happy to have won this Grammy, and I'm very happy that I'm here and I'm blessed, and I don't want to say no thank you for this. I appreciate it, but at the end of the day, she said, there's so many beautiful artists that are making amazing, impactful music these days that are not exactly getting the shine and acknowledgement that they deserve because of politics, numbers games, and popularity contests. And when she said that, I was like, Alessia Carr, you better tell these people what the fuck is good. You better tell them what the fuck is good. There are so many artists making so much great music out here that will never ever get nominated for a Grammy, or if they do get nominated for a Grammy, they will not win, or it's just messed up. And there's so many artists that are being nominated and winning Grammys that don't deserve them, all because they have great numbers, or because they're really popular, or because of political corruption behind the scenes, which you all know exists. As much as the Grammys never talk about it, we all know it exists. So it's just sad. And I really want to acknowledge Alessia Carr for saying that. And I really want to end the video off with that note, because I think it's the most important note that we can take from this award show. And kind of like how Jay-Z said, as much as the Grammys, we want to act like we don't care about them, we do care about the Grammys, because we always want our favorite artists to get that love and get that shine. And I really hope moving forward that you really start supporting your favorite artists more, and start spreading the word about your favorite artists like I'm doing with my channel. And just let's start giving love to those artists that might not exactly get to the Grammy level, but who we know deserve to be there, okay? So I'm gonna end it off with that, guys. Oh yeah, and one last thing. As a R&B lover, as someone who's very passionate about the genre of R&B, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Bruno Mars winning Album of the Year for 24 Karat Magic. I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm a little bit conflicted. Like I said, the theme of this year was bittersweet wins. I love Bruno Mars to death. I love that man. He's amazing. I love his music, and I love what he did this year. But the fact of the matter is that an R&B album has not won Album of the Year since 2000 and I believe 5 or 6. That was Ray Charles's album, and he only won that low-key because he had just passed away. If he had not just passed around that time, I don't know if he would have won that award. So really, an R&B album hasn't been bestowed with the Album of the Year honor since I was a kid. So as an R&B lover, I'm happy that an R&B album finally got recognized as the Album of the Year. But it also makes me upset because it's by someone who not only, I hate to say this, but not only is not fully black, but it was also won by an artist who played around with the genre of R&B, and is not an artist whose sound from the beginning of his career has been directly embedded in R&B. Bruno Mars literally kind of, I don't want to say tried out R&B, but he started making R&B music with this current album of his 24 Karat Magic, but he wasn't making R&B music before this album. So it makes me upset that a pop artist, or someone who started out as a pop artist, felt like making an R&B album because he could, and because he's good at it, and because it's true to him. So I'm not saying Bruno Mars is corny or whack for the 24 Karat Magic album. It came off as very real and authentic for him. But it's just a shame that the Academy couldn't finally recognize an R&B album in Album of the Year until a non-black started out as pop artist finally tackled making an R&B album. So that, to me, that sends a very interesting message, not only to artists of color and to R&B artists, but it just sent a really big message to me, to the world, that you know, there's a lot of bullshit and corruption behind the scenes. And it's funny how R&B couldn't finally get recognized in the Album of the Year category until Bruno Mars came along with a nice little R&B album. Someone who is very non-offensive, non-threatening, and the most crowd-pleasing artist I think that's ever been nominated for Album of the Year. And that album is the most crowd-pleasing and non-threatening and safe album that I think has ever been nominated, and also won Album of the Year. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Alright? Cool. Alrighty guys, but I'm gonna leave it off there. This has been my review of the 2018 Grammy Awards. I thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, hit this video with a like. Click the like button right there, or right there if you're on the phone. Share this video, and if you enjoyed this video, if you watched everything, subscribe to my channel, okay? Appreciate it. But in the meantime, guys, like I always say, continue to live your best life. Drink more water. Stay woke. And if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, okay, to make you feel better. Go listen to your favorite song. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching. This has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid, and I am signing off, baby. We out, y'all. Bye.
I came to vibe, you came to function. function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just have fun.